everyone. I'm Ethan Liu with 10 minutes of news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Taiwan's Supreme Court has overturned a guilty verdict for an indigenous man who hunted protected animals. Tama Talum is a member of Taiwan's indigenous Bunong tribe. In 2013, he hunted protected species for his sick mother to make traditional indigenous food. Talum killed the animals without permission using an illegal homemade firearm. He was sentenced to 3.5 years behind bars. In 2021, President Taiwan pardoned Talum out of respect for indigenous traditions, but the pardon did not acquit him of the ruling, only the punishment. The court's ruling now clears his record. Taiwan's low birth rate is hitting many schools financially as enrollments shrink. Private schools are hurting the most, with one in southern Taiwan turning to donations to keep its doors open. Zhang Mantris has this story.
对孩子所有的权益，我们都会积极而且认真地做到。
Principal Gao Zuoping has spent years making assurances like this to parents of her school students, and now to the donors she's counting on to keep the struggling school open. The question is how long she can keep delivering on this promise. Tongji High School has educated children in this part of Jiayi County in southern Taiwan for more than 60 years. In the past, enrollment wasn't a problem, and the private school was able to cover its expenses. But as Taiwan's birth rate has plummeted, the school is on the brink of closure. But the staff isn't giving up on the several dozen students that remain. The principal and teachers have worked 2 years without pay to keep the school running. And that's just the beginning of the sacrifices those who care about the school have made.
我们的陈维忠董事他已经卖掉2栋房子，在支持学校了。那我们董事长林环董事长他也是解除定存，所以我们的董事对我们其实也非常支持。
Even those staffers who haven't invested so much are staying for the students.
你辞职不要做了，你赶快回来。那我说不行，因为当时我的班级是高3，对，那我身为导师，我不可能就此放任不管。
The students are fully aware of this, and they're studying harder than ever.
让自己再更努力一些，说不定这样子就会让学校更好过一点。
Help is on the way. The central government's set to take over the school's management in August, making sure it stays open at least in the short term. But the school estimates it still needs around $62,000 to pay for essentials like electricity, water, and maintenance costs before that. This has led it to seek out former students for donations. Not all schools are so lucky. In 2022, 193 elementary schools had fewer than 29 students. That's bad news for schools further up the educational ladder. Parents groups have warned of what they call a tsunami of school closures in the coming years, as Taiwan gets ever closer to having the lowest birth rate in the world. It's a challenge not just for the country's leaders, but for parents, children, and educators as well. Ethan Chen and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
A fire department in central Taiwan is combining artificial intelligence and drones to prevent fires ahead of one of Taiwan's largest holidays. Eric Gao has more.
In just seconds, this drone uses artificial intelligence to zoom in on and identify a group of people lighting a fire. The fire department in the central city of Taichung is practicing how to use drones equipped with advanced cameras to monitor certain areas.
今天用的这一台那个无人机啊，它就可以用长效距离的定焦镜，那个放大距离来到20-30倍，然后就可以锁定那个疑似嫌疑犯。
The use of drones is part of a push by firefighters to prevent disasters ahead of the Tomb Sweeping Festival in April. It's one of Taiwan's largest holidays. Families honor their ancestors by cleaning their graves and making offerings. But people burning incense or offerings often cause fires around the holiday.
很快速的蔓延它的燃烧范围，那恐怕会危及到其他的这个住家或者是其他的这个建筑物。
Speaking to TaiwanPlus about privacy concerns, the fire department says the drone's AI can recognize objects and people as it looks for signs of fire, but does not identify individuals. The drones can record suspected illegal activity from high above, with the goal of preventing wildfires. This unmanned aircraft can also automatically track moving objects, helping firefighters monitor changing situations.
例如是车子、人，进行一个框框的锁定。那这些人或车它移动的时候呢，我们的飞机就会跟着自动转动，跟着自动长焦、轮in、轮 out， 然后做这个长距离的追踪。
preventing fires doesn't conflict with honoring one's ancestors, and with a little help from AI, everyone in Taiwan can have a safer tomb sweeping festival. Dolphin Chen, Jaime Ocon, and Eric Gao for TaiwanPlus.
The head of the International Atomic Energy Agency is on his first visit to Japan's Fukushima nuclear plant since it began releasing treated radioactive wastewater into the sea last year. The discharge has caused controversy around the region, with countries banning Japanese seafood over safety fears. The Fukushima plant was hit by a tsunami in 2011, causing its reactors to melt down in one of the worst nuclear disasters in history. The U.S. nuclear watchdog has vouched for the safety of the water release.
I can say that there was a sense of satisfaction as people see this moving forward. That being said, there's a lot of work ahead of us.
Scientists say sound may be the key to life for corals at risk of extinction. Researchers on the U.S. Virgin Islands playing audio recordings of healthy coral reefs next to degraded corals found that larvae were more likely to settle close to the healthy sounds. These findings could boost coral regeneration and encourage new growth in declining reefs. But scientists say restoration efforts alone won't be enough to offset the climate crisis threat to these vital coastal ecosystems. Archeologists have made a surprising discovery. An ancient fossil found in Japan turns out to be a completely different species than originally thought. Sally Ensign has more.
It may not look like much, but this 50-centimetre long piece of rock is actually part of a giant whale fossil. It's been housed in Japan's Gunma Museum of Natural History since it was unearthed in the area in 1971. But the fossilized piece of jaw, which is around 1.6 to 1.7 million years old, has now caused a commotion in the archaeological community. As it turns out, this whale is not what it was believed to be.
実際には詳しく研究がされてなかったんですね。なので種類がよくわからないけれども、多分すごく大きな骨なので、ヒゲクジラの仲間じゃないかって言われて、近くの
Baleen is a thick hair-like structure in the mouth of some whales used to filter feed. Scientists at the museum studied the fossil for 4 years to determine the type of whale or dolphin this old rock formed from. And with the help of researchers in Taiwan, they found that it was, in fact, a kind of whale with teeth.
可是我们开始做研究时候就发现啊，它根本就不是一种须鲸。 它其实是更偏向一种带有牙齿的抹香鲸的物种。
Sperm whales are the largest toothed cetaceans in the world. The scientists looked at this fossilized jaw and used 3D printing to compare it with other specimens. That's how they determined that the ancient individual was also much bigger than they'd thought.
所以你可以知道，从这一小块到可以超过1公尺，所以你就可以知道这我们所 发现的这个抹香鲸化石，其实是一个体型超过10公尺的个体。
Fossils of marine mammals like this one from the Pleistocene prehistoric era are incredibly rare, and none have been discovered in Taiwan. But with Japanese and Taiwanese scientists working together, cetacean archaeology in the region has made a whale of a breakthrough. Howard Zhang and Sally Ensign for TaiwanPlus.
Pilgrims on an 8-day walk are ready to turn around after reaching the town Lukang in western Taiwan. The procession starts and ends at Longde Temple in Taoyuan in the north. Worshippers follow a sedan chair holding the image of the goddess Mazu. This year, the procession endured high and low temperatures as well as heavy rains to make the trek, which includes music, dancing, and other performances. Thank you for watching today's What's Up Taiwan. Before we sign off, take a leap into these images of the Birdman flying contest at Melbourne's Yarra River. I'm Ethan Liu. Take care, and I'll see you next time.